I feel like Father Christmas. That scene there, that bit that you saw, that's a day's work.
Oh, really?
That's a day's work.
The dancing bit? Or
no, the whole, that sequence, that's a day's work, right? 18 12-hour days.
Oh, my God. Was it tough?
To produce 1 hour. That's what it's like. I tell you, it's so intense.
And it was in the summer as well, obviously.
Yeah, in the summer, which wasn't too bad, except Alison picked some wrong stuff. She had this wonderful jumper. That's a bit of a giveaway, but there you go. Everybody has wonderful jumpers, and it was like, oh my Christ. Sweating away. I stripped right down. I said, I want to not that far down.
We're not on
I think it would elicit a different sound to that if I stripped right down, I tell you. More like, ugh.
The beauty of Gavin and Stacey is the kind of normality of it, where you kind of watch it and you think, oh, yeah, that's like what goes on in households all over the country.
That's it.
I read something that kind of James and Ruth, when they were first writing it, got almost what they call second album syndrome. They were trying to do too much. And they sort of stripped it right back to just be normal. Is that right?
Yeah, and it also, I remember right at the beginning, it was going to be a lot more sort of raw. It was going to be a lot more more for an adult audience, and that was very quickly stepped back on, so that they realised, the BBC was so canny, they knew that whatever else they had to capture a young audience. So they actually started leaking it out online themselves before it ever went out on BBC Three. So they started to build an audience, before it came on the telly. So it's a very clever operation, the whole thing. And I have to say, this is just something else.
So when did you first get the call that this was going to happen?
This was probably around May, I think. I was just figuring out what I was going to be doing through the summertime. And I was about to make a phone call. I had a phone in my hand, and all of a sudden there's a number on there, and it said on the screen it was a California number. And I thought, well, it's not so-and-so, because I know he's here. So I just answered the phone. Hello. And it was James. And so we started to have a chat. And after about 10 minutes, I said, look, you haven't called me up to have a chat. So, what's the deal? I'm going to do what everybody in this country has done with me. Are we going to do another Gavin and Stacey? So that was it, because I was so sick of it. I was about to have a rollover thing, like a tattoo that said, sorry, don't ask me, right across my forehead every time I went out.
Sick of people asking, not sick of the series.
No, sick of people asking. Yeah. But you understand why, because they just love it so much. And then he said to me, well, that's why I'm calling, because it looks like we're going to be doing a Christmas special. I just want to know if you're free in July. And I said, as a matter of fact, I am.
And thank God for that.
Matter of fact, because that was their big problem.
What, if you booked a big holiday or something?
That was it. Another one bites the dust,
I mean, imagine, that you just say yes straight away. But it's quite daunting, isn't it, when something's been so successful? When another big show, it's like, is it going to be as good?
Yeah, and that was their big problem all along, was like, how good has this got to be to pass muster? What can we do? How daring can we be? We've got to. The momentum that's built up has got to be built on, carried on. So
is James as fancier now he's in LA with his big show?
He's a huge star in LA.
Massive.
But to be perfectly honest with you, I found him. He's kind of like he's
mellowed.
He's very, very comfortable in himself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, it was certainly no side, no nothing at all. Nothing at all. No airs and graces, no nothing. It was all back together again. Everybody's working again. Everybody's being those people again. So,
what was
very
it like
easy
to be all together again?
It was great. It was really good. And because everybody had been through the same sort of the worries about it, about how good it was. Because by the time we all got together to read it through, as you do around a table, everybody had read it, several times, see how many lines they had. The
old highlighter out.
Like, oh, that's mine. Hang on a minute, I'm hardly in it. But that's actors, right? But not me. So you get together, you read the thing, and then, of course, the real key to it all, it's too easily disregarded and overlooked. We have a director, Chris Gernon, she's directed every bit of it right from the beginning. And she's like the other member of the family that you don't see. She's so integral to it because you gather together, you know, 10, 12 actors like that, and you've got to drive them all day long, every day, to make sure the level is there all the time. The level of intensity, and if you don't have the right director, because that director's got to say, right, I know you've just sweated it and sweated it and sweated it. That was really great. It's a fantastic take. We're going to do another one. And everybody wants to go home.
Also said, which I find quite interesting, you find it much harder than drama because you have to be so on point all through the day.
It's like doing your driving test every day.
Yeah.
It's so intense because it's either right or it's wrong. It's not like drama. It can be really good. You can get everything in it. Everything can be absolutely right. And it's not maybe, or you might have done it a bit better, but it's not the same.
Do you mean the timing, getting the timing right?
Yeah.
So everyone can be as funny as everybody.
Because it's got to be, what's written has got to come out. That's the other thing with them. There's nothing that we do that isn't written. This is a created piece on paper, which is very unusual because it's got the sense that it's very free form. And we think with comedy like that, around a house, around a table or whatever, to get that kind of free form to it, that it feels perfectly natural.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Is it great?
I couldn't sit here and talk like this if I hadn't seen it. I went to see it, we all went to see it, with the entire TV press gang from all over Britain, right?
How nerve-wracking.
Well, and we all sat down the front, and there were probably nearly 200 people in that cinema where we watched it, and they were going nuts. And that was the most exciting feeling because it was like sweeping right over us like that. Because that's a tough audience.
It is.
It really is. As you all know, it's a tough audience because they do this several days a week, right? You know? But I have to say, it's like a it's like a fine, fine wine that is stuck away for another 10 years. And what's come out is, for me, the best we ever did.
Oh, my goodness.
Brilliant. Well, it is on Christmas Day at 8:30 on BBC One.
There you go. Christmas
appointment to
Larry, just before you go, one-word answer. Is there going to be a full series?
Can I say...
Don't ask.
We'll get that tattoo ready for you.
Here we go.
Larry Lamb, everyone.
Oh,